We are fresh off of Super Tuesday, everyone, and it appears inevitable that we are forced to endure an election. We must choose between the criminal and the crypt keeper. And since we already know what the Biden ticket looks like, let's take a dive at what most people are saying about Trump Train 24. Now, there are a lot of people that are saying that Tim Scott, the senator from the fine state of South Carolina, may be a front runner. Why are so many pundits saying this about the master of MAGA? It's largely because of this.
But I told Tim, so he was, look, he did well, but he wasn't as forceful as he is because he feels, he doesn't want to talk about himself. It's sort of interesting. And then I see him on Deface the Nation and Meet the Press and all the stuff, and he's just killing everybody. And I called him, I said, you're a much better candidate for me than you were for yourself. I mean it. This guy is the best. He was like a different person. He was like a different person. And I say that with admiration, but that shows great character with Tim. It really does. Where is Tim, by the way? Where is he? I mean that so strongly. He's amazing. Thank you. Thank you. No, he's amazing.
Strategically, I can see this being a good idea for a strong run towards the White House. To state the obvious, Scott gives the ticket the air of inclusion, which is always beneficial. Plus, he's a great counter to Kamala. He also gives the ticket the appearance of professionalism and order, much like Mike Pence did, except he's more apt to do exactly what he's told. Too bad he isn't qualified. Oh, don't take my word for it. Take hers.
I remark that now, when I even am watching a commercial, if I see a commercial and I see a black person, a Hispanic person, an Asian person, my thought process is, did they just get this because of DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, for those that don't understand what those letters mean? I no longer think the person is qualified. She said, it makes me upset that that's my thought process when I see a commercial and when I see a movie. Is this person actually even a good actor, or are they just checking a box?
Greetings, valued viewer, and welcome to the Independent Mail, the place where both Democrats and Republicans can find an objective but challenging conversation. Now, let's jump into this video, but first, let me get the begging out of the way.
Yeah, I'm licking your balls.
Please hit that like and subscribe button. I am a small channel and it really helps with the algorithms. Also, if you are already subscribed, please hit the notification bell and share with other like-minded individuals. Sometimes YouTube does not immediately push my small channel videos, so this way you will immediately be notified of my new videos and you will be helping with my channel growth. Thank you so much. Now, back to the topic at hand. While I do have a couple of personal nitpicks with Senator Scott, I do believe that it's a good idea to have him on the Trump ticket. But let's take a look at why Scott is unqualified based on the assessments of Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens. We're going to be doing this by taking a look at a discussion between Stephen A. Smith and Roland Martin. Let's check it out.
Mr. Charlie Kirk, conservative, founder of the conservative group Turning Point USA, made some comments about the qualifications of black folks, particularly when it comes to pilots and flying in the airwaves along with other things. And obviously Candace Owens, noted conservative analyst and critic, dare I say even that, she definitely had her stuff to say as well.
That is the reality of what happens when it comes to DEI. And what he is remarking on is true. I would be terrified if I got onto a plane and I saw a woman flying the plane. And I know that we have the United CEO saying that he just wants to fulfill a quota. He just wants there to be more women and wants there to be more black people. And he's not concerned at first with qualifications. That is something that should alarm all of us, guys, honestly.
Roland, before I even ask you the question, let me piggyback off of that to make sure that I'm giving proper context to her comments, because after Charlie Kirk said this, I'm sorry, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. She follows up by saying, I said the exact same thing on this show just a couple of weeks ago. I remarked that now, when I even am watching a commercial, if I see a commercial and I see a black person, a Hispanic person, an Asian person, my my thought process is, did they just get this because of DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, for those that don't understand what those letters mean? I no longer think the person is qualified. She said, it makes me upset that that's my thought process when I see a commercial, when I see a movie. Is this person actually even a good actor, or are they just checking a box?
I actually caught wind of this article some time ago, and I'll admit it made the old blood boil. When I initially saw the clip a couple of weeks ago, I started emotionally doing research and making notes. These subjects included known horrible students that rose to the ranks of presidents and senators. I was even going to include a Facebook exercise where you survey known underachievers in high school and college and then look at their seemingly easy middle America outcome. But I scrapped that and waited, because all that was going to do was turn this into an exercise of undervaluing each other. And that's not something I wanted to be a part of. I'm looking up previous presidents and Congress people's school records, knowing who's been horrible students. Like, mad respect. One of the Republicans I actually respect and like, John McCain, horrible student though. George W., horrible student.
Yeah, I heard about George.
Horrible student. Like, all of these people, nobody questioned it. Like, the reason you're supposed to get opportunities is because you show you're qualified typically when you're a young person based on what you do in school. You haven't worked yet. But yet all of these individuals got opportunity upon opportunity based on what? It wasn't qualification, but yet we're asked about what our qualifications are because of sometimes people trying to make a program that gives us the thing that they talk about, which is that equal opportunity, but maybe not outcome. We don't get the equal opportunity. So when somebody puts a program in place for that equal opportunity to bypass some of the nepotism and the good old boy systems and all of that other stuff, then you want to bring in questioning qualifications when those other people's qualifications, legacy admissions aren't asked. You aren't asked about that. Yeah,
that's all. That's why I'm bored.
It's so troubling, because this is why I ask this of you. Again, as a professional Black man, an educator, someone that's gone through post-secondary education himself, someone that knows what it's like to almost have to be ultra qualified for certain things in order to have an opportunity to know why some of these programs have to exist. How does that make you feel to hear somebody like Candace Owens, somebody that knows what the Tuskegee Airmen did? Right. When you want to question about a pilot's qualification, what about the pilots that were sent out there to fight with junk planes and they came back with a W?
Right.
How about the sisters that was treating like a damn human computer room that took NASA to the damn moon off of calculations they were making? You know this as a Black woman, and you sit up there and say that for a damn ads check. Instead, I decided to remind Candace of a couple of historical events. I say remind instead of educate because I know Miss Owens is aware of these events, but may have forgotten them due to her panderer vision.
These jets ain't nothing.
We need more speed. Let's get some altitude.
Easy, right there. 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
I got him, I got him.
Now that's how it's done.
Math is always dependable.
For you, it is. That's it.
Let's type it up.
I'd also like to suggest a solution as opposed to continuing to beg for equal opportunity via programs that attempt to shield us from legacy admissions, nepotisms, and good old boyisms. We need to start owning more of our own industry and attending our own schools.
Man, let me tell you something. I was doing a orientation, and I had a bow tie on, and the reason I was usually dressing to the nines every day for school is because when I was doing student teaching, I went to a HBCU. Shout out to Alabama A&M. It was founded by a former slave, a man who was sold into slavery on the grounds of A&M. William Hooper Council, Dr. Council purchased his freedom and turned around and created that university. So we were told that when you go out, you must dress to the nines because you're going to be judged because of the school you came from. This is our university telling us.
We need to develop our own industries. So that way there are places to go where a Howard degree is as valuable as a Harvard one. We need to own our own industries instead of just participating in them. That way we can quit complaining about how much representation we're getting at an awards show, what we can or can't do at the sidelines of a field or a court, or how many black coaches get interviewed. It's time to stop having to continuously prove our qualifications and take control of our economic influence. But you all let me know what you guys think on this matter. Is it time to move on from some of this forced inclusion? Until next time, peace and stay informed.